all day. Now I'm unmuted. Okay, so thank you guys for spending the entire day with us on this virtual ITC. Thank you, Ms. Lois. There are 2 more seminars after this, and I know you guys can make it all the way to the end. So I am Lindy Woods. I am the regional chair for Region 7, and my school is Dunamis Karate in South Carolina. I have one in Hampton and one in Ridgeland, South Carolina, 2 small schools and 2 small towns. The name of this seminar today is Level Up Your Forms, and my plan is to hit something from every kata on the black belt test. I am not going to teach you a kata. I am going to do pieces of the form and hopefully teach you ways to practice the details of your katas, not just memorize a pattern. So we're going to focus on pieces of forms and the details of those pieces so that you can improve your practice time as you prepare for your test now and in the future, continued on and on. So without any further ado, we will go ahead and get started. Our flag is in the back. Everybody face the flag, come to attention and bow. And face the front and bow. And ready, stance. Good, and stand relaxed. So the first thing we're gonna do is some stepping front kicks. So I'm gonna have my guys back up. You can make one line. One line is fine. We're gonna do stepping front kicks. Now, our black belt test has 2 different kinds of front kicks. There's a snap front kick and a thrust front kick, but we are gonna focus now on the thrusting front kick. So stepping, thrusting front kicks. So fighting stance, ready, and kick, 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 kick. If you need to readjust your space, you do so as necessary. Kick, kick, kick. Good, and freeze. Miss Andy, please. So when we drill this in class, I will have students kick through what we lovingly term a ring of fire. When she does a thrusting front kick through that ring of fire, that foot has to go all the way through. She doesn't want to touch the ring of the fire on the way in or the way out. If she does, she gets her pants on fire, and the only way to get it out is to do some burpees. So you never, ever want to touch the ring of fire. So we would take this same thing, then, and we would do these stepping, thrusting front kicks through the ring of fire. Stepping, thrusting front kicks. Stepping, thrusting front kicks. Just like that. And that's the way we would drill our thrusting front kicks. So back up to your position. This time I want you to get into a forward stance. So these guys are in a forward stance. What I want you to do is hold your left hand out and aim it solar plex high. We'll say solar plex high. And you're going to do your stepping front kick without moving any of this. So this is to control the discipline of your body, and then you're going to land in a forward stance, shoulder width. Ready? Kick. Landing shoulder width every time. Think about a railroad track, stepping forward. Ready? So Blake Walters, I want your front hand extended, your other hand at a side guard. We are not doing these kicks from a fighting stance. We're doing them from a forward stance. Ready? Step kick. Land in a forward stance. No punching. Do not move your arms. Step kick. Step kick. So when we fold our front kick, you don't want to hunch your body forward like this. And when you kick, you don't want to lean your body back. And when you kick, I don't want your arms to fly all around. So this drill is to keep the discipline of these 2 arms. Do not move them. Ready? Step kick. Step kick, landing in a forward stance every time. So if I had you put this hand at your solar plexus, when you do your kick, I don't want that hand to raise up to your chin. I want it to stay on your solar plexus. Ready? Step kick. Step kick. Good, you guys shuffle back just 2 lines. Okay, readjust yourself as necessary. So now I'm going to add something to it, but you're only going to do it on my call. I get to be in charge. This is my seminar. So you only do the things that I say to do. So ready? Step kick. High punch. Step kick. High punch. High punch. Don't let those arms move unless I call for the punch. Step kick. High punch. Step kick. High punch. step kick, high punch. Readjust yourself. Don't go all the way back. All right, so somebody, take a guess. What kata do you think we are working on? United Fighting Arts Federation Form 1, okay, which has a stepping front kick and then a high punch. So when we do that kick in the test on the kata, you don't want your arms to be moving around. When you do the kick, the arms need to stay still. So that is the drill that was working on. So we did not practice it at a black belt pace. We practiced it at a beginner pace. So Miss Andy, come sideways so everybody can see. I had you guys do it at this pace. Step front kick, high punch. Step front kick, high punch. This way you have to concentrate on one thing at a time. You have to do a good thrusting front kick. You have to land in a forward stance, and then we execute the punch. Does everybody understand? So we're going to do it at that pace one more time, and then we're going to increase the pace to what we would want more of a black belt to be doing. So you can run back to that spot. So here we go. So these guys have right foot out, left hand out. That's fine. Here we go. Ready? Step front kick. Now check your stance. Make sure you're as wide as your shoulders. Your front knee should be bent past your toes. Your back heel is tight to the floor, and that belly button is forward. High punch. Step front kick. High punch. Step front kick. High punch. Don't let those arms move until I call the punch. And then when I call the punch, is this a good side guard here? No, I want that arm way back tight. Step front kick. High punch. Step front kick. High punch. Okay, some of you guys need to bend that front knee a little more. I want that front knee to go past your toes. We call it a forward stance because the weight is actually forward of the toe. Okay, readjust yourself. So now we're going to increase our timing a little bit. So when we actually do this on a black belt test, an advanced timing would be that the foot lands after the kick at the same time or just about, maybe just before the punch hits. So that is the timing that we want. So Miss Andy's going to get in her position, stepping front kick, and she's going to land and punch at the same time. Watch it again. Kick, land, and punch same time. That is the goal, okay? These punches also are on the chin. Andy likes to tell a story about when she was a kid. If she put the punch here instead of here, I would count how many times it was in the kata, and however many times she did it wrong, she had to run around the entire building outside in the heat, in the summer. So you better punch in the right place. So here we go. We're going to try to increase our timing now. So ready? Forward stance. Copy Miss Andy. So she's got her left foot out and her right hand out. Stepping front kick, land and punch. The only way you can land on purpose is if you recoil your kick. If you just drop that foot, you're not going to be in control. Ready? Step front kick and land punch. Good. And readjust yourself. So now I want you to do that on your own, 30 seconds. Really focus on it. Go. Looking good, Blake. Make sure you're bending your front knee. You mad. Bend that front knee more from you guys there too. Miss Lois, you look like you've done this before. Chelsea Hannibal. Make sure those elbows stay in tight. Don't let them rub out. Good. Some of my guys are frozen. I see the Schaefer crew's looking mighty sharp there. Hannah, make sure it's a reverse punch from the, okay? So you want to be punching with your reverse hand. Good, and time. All right, so those was our UFAF 1 skills. So now I'm going to have my guys get into a side stance. So you may or may not know a side stance. This is my helper. This is Dolly. Sit in the chair. Sit. Stay. So you guys may or may not know a side stance, but I'll bet you know a straddle leg stance. So a straddle leg stance, turn it sideways. Hey, I just taught you a side stance. So here they are. Looks like they're riding the horse. Their body is sideways. So what we're gonna do next is a back kick. You guys come up 2 lines. I want to make sure you're clear enough in the camera. All right. So we're gonna work on a back kick. All right. So I tell my students the #1 rule about doing a back kick is that you must be backwards. So right now these guys are sideways. So if they wanted to kick back toward the flag, the first thing they would have to do is pivot their feet and their belly buttons toward me. So ready, pivot. So now their back is pointed backwards. So that's the first part. Ready, back to being sideways. If they wanted to kick toward the camera, they would have to pivot their toes and their belly button toward the flag. So now their back is pointed toward the camera. Ready, pivot. And readjust. So now, part of the rule is, whichever way you pivot, you have to look. So I'm facing the camera. So if I call pivot to the camera, my head doesn't move. But if I called to the flag, then I need to be looking that direction. So when you pivot to the rear, you need to make sure that you pivot your head as well. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna call a direction. I will say flag or camera. You guys don't have a flag, so that'll be the back for you, whatever's behind you. And the camera, of course, is in front. So we're gonna pivot, and then we're gonna add our back kick. Ready? Flag, pivot, then kick, and then go back to being sideways. Camera, pivot, then kick, and go back to being sideways. Camera. Okay, so Kayla and Christian, we're kicking with the front leg. So if I call camera, you're gonna kick with the leg that's closest to the camera. Yes. And if I call flag, you're gonna kick with the leg that's closest to the back. There we go, ready? Camera. Flag. Back to being sideways each time. Pivot, then kick. Flag. And camera. Good, everybody's looking good. That's pretty simple. So now we're gonna add a slide, okay? So if I told Paul to kick toward the camera, the first thing he has to do is pivot so that he's backwards. His eyes are still looking. Then he's gonna slide his feet together, and then he's gonna do that back kick that way. So we're gonna add a slide. So whichever direction I call, you guys are gonna add the slide. Ready? To the flag. Pivot, slide, back kick. Back to being sideways. Now we're going to the camera. Pivot, slide, back kick, and back to being sideways. Ready? Camera. Pivot, slide, back kick. Back to being sideways. Flag. Pivot, slide, back kick. Back to being sideways. All right. So now, instead of sliding, we're going to do a stepping back kick. All that means is that you pivot, and instead of sliding your feet together, you step past that foot. And then you're gonna execute your back kick. So we're gonna do a stepping back kick. So it's still your front leg that's gonna do the kick. Ready? To the camera. Pivot, step, kick. Still the front leg kicking. So switch them back. Okay, so the same leg is kicking. So now you're gonna kick with the back leg. To the flag. Pivot, step, and kick. So Paul, just instead of sliding together, slide past. Do a bad slide up. A bad slide up is basically a stepping back kick. Here we go, ready? To the flag. Pivot, step past, and kick. There we go. And to the camera. Pivot, step, and kick. Good. So now I'm going to make it a little bit difficult. After you do the kick, I want you to land in a back stance. But I don't want just any back stance. I want a beautiful back stance, okay? So that means guard up, feet in a nice L position. Make sure that back foot is sideways and your front foot is straight. So I'll have Miss Andy demonstrate for me, okay? So she's in her side stance. She's coming toward me, so she's gonna pivot, step, back kick. She lands in a back stance. Then we'll readjust to being sideways, and I'll say go to the back, pivot, step, back kick. She's gonna land in a beautiful back stance. Her back knee is still over her toes. So that's what we're gonna do now. So ready, Barry? Everybody sideways? To the camera. Stepping back kick. Land in a back stance facing this way. So your front foot should be completely straight. Your back foot should be completely sideways. Readjust to your side stance. To the flag. pivot, step, back kick, and land in that beautiful back stance. Back foot sideways, front foot straight. You are facing to the back of the room now. Readjust to your side position, to the front, to the camera, go. Beautiful back stance, and readjust to your side stance, and head to the rear. Pivot, stepping back kick, beautiful back stance. Good, and relax. So this is from United Fighting Arts Federation Form 2. There's a set in the kata where you do a stepping side punch, spin bottom fist, and then that stepping back kick. A lot of people forget to pivot, so that's why this drill was important. The other thing is they hit the back kick and they forget to land in a back stance. You need to face this guy you just kicked and make sure he's dead, and then we will go the other direction. So finish the one set. Land in your beautiful back stance and make sure that set is done. Make sure that bad guy's not going to get back up, and then we proceed to the next set. Don't rush your pieces together. All right. So now we're going to work on some side kicks. If you don't know a side kick, hang on and follow as best you can, because I'm not technically teaching a side kick. We're going to do them off the wall. You guys, okay, you guys can back up to the wall, get a piece of wall, wherever you can find the wall. You just lean on me. Okay. So we're going to do side kicks off the wall. Number one, turn sideways. Kicking leg towards them. I'll be your wall. So when we fold the side kick, I want it to look kind of like a candy cane. So her foot and her leg are not in the same line, okay? At the end of the kick, she's going to pivot, making sure that the ball of the foot pivots toward me so that her heels are pointed straight toward the camera, and then we're going to recoil and down. So on my count, fold, kick, recoil, down. Fold, kick, recoil, and down. Fold, kick, recoil, and down. Is everybody kicking right leg? I want right leg. I did not specify. Oops. So let's go right leg. Sorry. Oops. Okay, let's do two more. Fold. Make sure your guard is up for now. Side kick, refold, and down. One more. Ready? Fold, kick, refold, and down. All right, so now we're going to add a bottom fist strike. So this hand is fine to stay on the wall. When she folds her kick, she's going to fold that front hand with her palm to her cheek and her elbow up high. Want to turn sideways? That's fine. So palm to the cheek, elbow up high. She's going to execute the side kick, and at the same time that the side kick hits, she's going to hit with her bottom fist strike. So ready? Fold, side kick, bottom fist, recoil, and down. Fold, side kick, bottom fist, recoil, and down. Let's do that together 3 times. Fold. Make sure your palm is to your cheek, elbows up high. Side kick, bottom fist, refold, and down. Fold. Side kick, bottom fist, refold, and down. Fold. Side kick, bottom fist, refold, and down. Okay, so now this is from Piananiran. And in Piananiran, you're going to do your side kick, bottom fist, but then we're going to land with a high reinforced chop. So this time the challenge is going to be, after she does her kick, when she brings her foot back, she's also going to fold her hands for a high chop coming toward the front. So in the kata, the kick goes to the back of the room and you're going to land toward the front, okay? So when you refold the kick, the hands have to fold for the chop at the same time. So let's try that. Everybody together. Ready? Fold for your bottom fist and your side kick. And side kick, bottom fist. Refold and fold your chop. Land in a beautiful back stance. And if you want to get really technical, this is a narrow back stance because this is a strike and we're not going to do a reverse block. All right, so let's do it again. So fold, side kick, bottom fist, refold, fold the chop, land in that beautiful back stance. One more time, fold, side kick, bottom fist, refold, high chop. Good, and relax. So again, that was the piece of the form from Pianan Yidan. So now we're going to move into Pianan Oran pieces. So you guys just line up in here. So this is what we're gonna do. From our ready stance, I'm gonna call left or right. You guys, when I call left, it's this way for me. I understand you guys are gonna be going the other way. If you do it reverse, doesn't really matter. I want you to get into a back stance, and the goal is to get into that back stance with hip action. So this is what I mean. There was no hip action. This is what I mean. There was some hip action. So the way we're going to do that is I'm going to drop my weight and then pop that heel down to get into that back stance. So ready? Here we go. Left and right. Left and right. Good. Now we're going to add an outside block. So I'm going to move to the left first. So I fold my outside block. My right hand is folded across, pointed at that bad guy. I drop the weight and outside block in that back stance. Now here's the trick, okay? When she gets into her back stance, her posture should not really move from here. So fold, outside block. She pretty much stays right here, okay? Do a bad one for me. Ready? Fold, outside block. See how she moved way far forward? Look where her knee is now. This is where her knee is. This is where her foot is. They're no longer in a straight line of each other. This knee is supposed to stay in the same line with the toes. But if you do your block and you travel forward, your knee is not in line with your toes anymore. So I want you to mostly stay in the same place and just pop the hip into it without shifting the weight. So here we go. Ready? Everybody together. If you have a partner, this is a good way to work it. Fold, outside block. When she folds, she drops that weight. Ready, stance? Fold, outside block. Ready, stance? Fold, outside block. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So ready? Fold, outside block. Ready, stance? Fold, outside block. Ready, stance? Fold, outside block. And ready, stance. Good. So now continuing with the pieces of the form, in Piana and Oran, we block in the back stance, then we're going to shoot a crossbody punch, still maintaining that back stance. But this is some issues that I sometimes see with students doing the katas. So they get this part right, but then they punch like this. If I extend my finger right now, where is this pointed? It's pointed back there. This punch should have been straight off to the side. So you have to be careful about the angle of the punch. Make sure you're punching straight to the side. So drop the weight, fold, outside block, and punch, and I still stay in my back stance. So another issue that I sometimes have is they might punch in the right direction, but then they curve their wrist. So if I punch and I curve my wrist, where is it pointing? It's still pointing back behind me somewhere. So I want the arm going straight across and also the knuckles going straight across. Don't let your knuckles get all wonky and twist. All right, so let's do that a couple times. So drop the weight, fold, outside block, and punch. Also, make sure that when you punch, you don't let that happen. This all stays still. Ready, stance? Two more. Fold, outside block, punch. Check it. Make sure. Point the finger out. See which way it's going. Ready, stance? One more. Fold, outside block, punch. Good. Now, from right there, I'm pointed this way. I'm going to slide my feet together, and I'm going to bring my hands to what we call a Kata guard. Then we're going to switch, and we're going to go to the Kata guard on the other side. So as I tell my students, okay, we're not going to go around a big old belly to get there. We're not going over the mountain to get there. We're just going to switch straight to the other side. So now let's fold the right hand. Don't forget to fold that right hand. Ready? Drop the weight and outside block and punch. Good. Let's go back to that Kata guard position. Fold, drop the weight, outside block, punch. Check it. Point your finger. See which way it's pointing. Is your wrist straight or did you get it all crooked? Ready, stance. Our feet together. Sorry, Kata guard. Fold, drop the weight, outside block, punch. Good. Let's go ahead and slide our feet together on that side. and do the kata guard. And switch back. Good, and relax. So that was our piano and hold-on piece. So now, if you have a partner and something to hit, that's what we're going to do now. Magically appear. Okay, so we're going to be working on U punches now. So first, let's talk about the target of the U punch. Go closer. My top hand is aimed at the chin. 2 big knuckles aimed at the chin. My bottom hand is aimed at the solar plexus, okay? But it comes off of that kata guard position. So if I am feet together, my hands are on my right kata guard side, my right hand's gonna go high, my left hand's gonna go to the solar plexus. I step forward with my left foot. But this is what I sometimes see. This hand is doing like an outside block. And what it needs to do is this. So that's why we're going to use the pad. So we're going to work one side. Ooh, we're going to have to pick that up a little bit. Yeah. So hold it that way. So we're going to use one side. Okay. So everybody put your kata guard on your right side. We're going to step with the left foot. Your right hand's going to be your high hand. You have to make sure that your left hand comes to almost like a side guard position so that you can drive that U punch with both hands. It's not coming across like an outside block. It has to come out, and then both hands actually punch. All right? So everybody's got a partner? Kata guard, we're going to do it 5 times on each side. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Freeze in that last position. Move, please. So from here, the other thing, I'm dropping the microphone. Where'd it go? Did it go inside my beak? Hold on. Come on. I got it. Found it. The other thing you have to be aware of is that the hands were a straight line this way. So move away. So I'm not punching somebody with a really big chin. I'm not punching somebody with a really big belly. Okay? They have to be even. So not only even this way, but also even this way. Okay? Make sure they're even. All right, so let's switch. We're going to do the other side. So kata guard on the left, you're going to step with the right foot. My right hand comes almost like a side guard position, and then both hands are going to do the U punch out. Ready? 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Trade, let your buddy go. Ready? I know I'm too short. Ready? So we have kata guard on the right. Left foot's going to step. Right hand's going high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's switch. Kata guard on the other side. So now your right foot's going to step, and your left hand's going to go high. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. So that's the drill on the U punches. So now we're going to work an inside crescent kick. So everybody back up all the way. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to work a stepping inside crescent kick coming forward. The stepping inside crescent comes up with the back leg and sweeps over, kicking with the inside palm of the foot. So let's just do some stepping inside crescents moving forward. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. So I saw some of you guys doing a really great job of making sure your guard stayed up. Excellent work. So now that you've practiced that, we're going to make you do it with your hands down here. Okay, so we're going to take that and we're going to put it in the piece where it is in Basai. So you guys back up a little. So We're going to start with our left foot going to step forward first. So I'm going to go Kata guard. I'm sorry, my right foot's going to step forward first. So my Kata guard is on my left. I'm going to step forward, execute my U punch, slide back to my Kata guard, and switch. From this position, my hands are on my right side. My right foot takes that little cheater step. Then my left foot does an inside crescent, and then the U punch on that side. I slide back to the right, switch to the left. The hands are on the left. I cheater step with the left, inside crescent, and U punch on that side. Good. Now, before we actually drill this one, I want to break down one of my pet peeves. So anybody that's a higher rank, you may or may not have ever noticed this. So I want you guys to watch. Do it backwards, coming toward me. In the kata, this is done to the rear of the room, okay? I want you to do it incorrectly. Andy is going to show you what typically happens. You want me to do it incorrectly? I'll do it incorrectly. I can do it. Okay, so this is what typically happens, okay? Well, I need a target. All right, so Andy is completely to the rear of me. So this is what I should be hitting, but this is what I see when people do the katas, okay? So it travels out at the corners, okay? Some people don't even know it happens, right? Once you know how it happens, then you're like, oh man, how am I doing that? Well, I'm gonna tell you, it's a simple, easy little fix. But if you're not aware of it, you're never gonna fix it, and then you're forever gonna be punching 3 different people, all right? So what happens is when we do that little step, okay, so my feet are together, right? I slide back feet together. When we do that little step, if you step right in front of that other foot, instead of stepping shoulder width, then I do my crescent and I go shoulder width. So I just move to the side. So I slide back, I switch, I step in front of that foot. I do my crescent, then I step shoulder width. Now I just travel to the other side. So each time you take that little cheater step, you need to step shoulder width, okay? So let's practice it. We'll pick up from U punch 1 here. So kata guard on the right hip. So the right foot's gonna step, but when I step, I'm gonna step more wide. Shoulder width. Inside crescent. Now you're still hitting the same target. Slide back, switch, step with the left, as wide as your shoulders. Inside crescent, you punch. And again, you're on the same target. And relax. So this is best practice if you can get a line, all right? If you have some kind of line to practice it on, then you can see where you're stepping. So when you take that little teeter step, we call it, that little baby step before the crescent, you have to step as wide as your shoulders, okay? So, can you demonstrate it? All right, so I'll have Andy demonstrate, and I'll put some yellow ropes on the floor so you can see these extra belts come in handy. All right, so she's gonna step and do the U punch, and she's there. Slide back, switch, step, inside crescent, U punch, slide back, switch. Do it again, step, inside crescent, U punch, slide back, switch, step, inside crescent, U punch. So this is a good way to drill that, and you can just drill the stepping inside crescents and U punches moving across the floor. All right, so far we did UFAF 1, we did UFAF 2, we did Pian and Yidan, we did Pian and Oran, and we did something from Basai. So I know that a lot of that was over the head of some of you guys that aren't yet up to like red belt rank, but I wanted something for the higher levels as well. So once you get there and you get to learn in that kata, you might go, oh yeah, I remember Miss Woods said something about such and such. Hopefully, maybe you'll remember, maybe you won't. But what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do some fun quarantine kata drills. You guys have been stuck. Nobody's been in the mood to practice that much because you're not in the front of your instructor all the time to have them yelling at you, keeping you nice and sharp. So I'm gonna yell at you, all right? So, oh, I had a power phrase. I forgot to tell you my power phrase. What's the name of our class today, level up your forms, right? So the name of our power phrase is, the only way to level up is to show up. If you don't show up, you're not going to level up. The only way to level up is to show up. So we're going to play some kata drills. First one we're going to do is called jumping kata. Yay. All right. So let's just start with United Fine Arts Federation Form 1. Okay. If you don't know that, make up the kata. All right. So the way that this kata works is the entire thing is going to stay in the same place. You're not going to move out of this position. Okay. So ready? First move is low block. Doing a jumping kata. Sorry, my bad. Ready? Low block. Reverse punch. Stepping front kick. And punch. You got that? Ready? Step back, low block. Reverse punch. Stepping front kick. And punch. Ready? Here we go. Coming down the line. Low block. Reverse punch. Inside block. Reverse punch. High block. Reverse punch. Outside block. Reverse punch cat. And release. All right. How was that? All right. So now.
That was fun.
Now we're going to do what's called adversity kata. Okay. So you have one adversity. Something that's a hindrance to you. But you don't let it stop you. You persevere. You push through. So for this, UFAF 2, if you don't do UFAF 2, you do UFAF 1 again. You only have one arm. Which arm do we want? We only have the left arm. So you have to do the kata with only your left arm. Ready? Knife hand block. Imaginary punch. But you still have to shift to your forward stance. You still have to pull your side guard. Ready? Jab. Slide up round kick, half punch. Oh, it's imaginary half punch. You guys did good. Ready? Step, double punch. Ah. Ready? Step, turn. Imaginary block. Who's in a back stance? Reverse punch. Jab. Almost. Slide up round kick, half punch. And double punch. Good. So you guys see how adversity kata works? So you can take any kata and you can do any adversity. So let's say we do no arms with UFAF 1. UFAF 2? UFAF 2, no arms. So now you have no arms. Ready? Knife hand block. Reverse punch. Jab, slide round kick, half punch. Step, double punch. This is one way of making yourself think. You have to know the stances. You have to work on something other than just the moves. Ready? Step, turn, knife hand block. Reverse punch. Jab, slide round kick, half punch. Step, double punch. Lunge away, low block, reverse punch. Jab, slide a punch. Front kick, turn, knife hand block, punch. Oh, who got to the forward stance? Front kick, high block, punch. So you're having to work your stances and stuff. Ready? Spin round kick, back nickel. Half punch. Elbow. Punch up. Punch kick. Relax. All right. So let's say we're going to do Pianan Yidan. If you know Pianan Yidan, you can play along. You don't have a left leg. Okay? You got so bored during the quarantine that you chewed it off. So here we go. Ready? Pianan Yidan with no left leg. Double block. Uppercut. Slide back. Side punch. Gotta go. Double block. Uppercut. Slide back. Side punch. Kata guard, slide up, switch. Side kick, bottom fist. Here we go. And step chop. Step chop. Step spear. Ah, good. And relax. Okay. So let's do Pianan Oran. But you only have one eye. Ready? One eye. Pianan Oran. Let's see what you got. Ready? Outside block. Punch. Slide twitch. Outside block. Punch. Slide twitch. Outside left. Low X. High X. Stop spear punch. Good. And relax. So that one's not too easy. That one's too easy. Okay. Let's do Basai from your knees. Here we go. Let's see your salutation. Set down. Pivot. Lunging back nickel. outside block, outside block, inside block, outside block, low block, inside block, outside block, straddling stance, spear, punch, pivot block, punch, pivot block, reinforced chop, step chop, scrape them off, push block, side kick, bottom fist, high chop, good, wrist break, double bottom fist, jump, double punch. You can finish it if you want. Ready, low chop, vertical, throwing strike, rat twist rip, snap punch, inside block, inside crescent, low block stomp, backhand kick, smash, down punches, boom, boom, U punches, side back, switch, step, inside crescent, U punch. Some of you guys are still trying. You're troopers. All right, good, and relax. Okay, so I got one more for you. I got one for you. One more. I got two more, actually. I got two more for you. I don't want to do that one. We'll skip the nail in the foot. We'll do the stutter kata. All right, so we're going to do what's called stutter kata. You know what a stutter is. Not going to make fun of anybody, but just so everybody understands, stutter is stutter, right? We have to do that with our kata, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to do United Fine Arts Federation Form 1, and it's like a stutter. So you're going to do every move 3 times. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm doing Gicho. I'm sorry. I'm doing Gicho Hyang Ilbu. I'm sorry. UFAF 1. Stutter kata. Ready? Go. You got it? Stutter kata. Man! What did I do? You did inside again. I stuttered and lost my place. That's tiring. Do you want to do that other one? We don't want to do the nailing. All right, so there's one more. It's called nail in the foot, but this one is complicated. So imagine one foot is nailed down. So you'd have to get to the proper position each time, but you can't pick up that one foot. Can anybody guess what Kata she's doing? So nail in the foot Kata. That one gets really complicated because you have to step the different directions to still end up with the correct foot in the front. All right, so normally when we do forms, we do a lot of things and utilize the music and do katas with music and things like that. But one of my least favorite things to do is to just teach a kata, because I find that everybody just memorizes the pattern and they forget about what they're supposed to be doing inside the kata. So the way I like to do it is to give you a piece of the form, make you really focus on that piece and practice that piece and pay attention to what you're doing. And you don't even know it's a kata. And then the next week I might give you a different piece and we'll do another piece. And then eventually I'll go, remember those pieces we worked on? Yeah, let's put them all together. See what that makes. And it makes kata. And then it's like, oh yeah. So my students have an easier time learning the kata that way because they've already learned the pieces. And then we just put them together. So hope you guys enjoyed it. What's next? Jason Chartouni is next. So, oh, we have to do a picture. You need, okay. Face flag. Come to Tiji bow. Face this way and bow. All right, everybody unlock your cameras and come together so we can take a picture. Dad knows how. Jim, dear, you got my screenshot, right? I had to turn over my technical duties. All right. I don't know, do 5 seconds. Ready? Everybody say cheese. I guess you got it. All right. All right. So good job, guys. We're going to end this meeting, and next one starts in 15 minutes. Huh? No questions. Everybody's good to go. All right. Thanks, guys. Oh, here's your headset. And it's still on.